Hello and welcome everyone on this official platform of Legacy IAS Academy. So today in this session, I'm going to discuss one of the most important news from Kerala. Now this is related to your environmental and ecology topic as well as from science and technology. Recently a 15 years old boy died in Kerala due to a rare brain infection of Naegleria Fowleri. Clear? Naegleria Fowleri. Now this Naegleria Fowleri, it is you can say a brain eating amoeba. Clear? So a case came from Kerala. So it is considered as a brain eating amoeba. Now first of all you should know what is amoeba. Amoeba is a single cell living organism. Getting my point? So first try to understand. As you can see this image of this amoeba, Naegleria Fowleri. Now, so recently news came from Kerala that 15-year-old boy died due to this brain eating amoeba. Now, as you can see here, this is amoeba. Now, amoeba is single cell living organism. Clear? Single cell living organism. Now this amoeba, Naegleria Fowleri amoeba, it lives in soil and warm water, warm fresh water you can say. Getting my point? So this amoeba lives in soil and warm fresh water. Getting my point? Clear? Now, remember this thing, warm fresh waters like rivers, lakes, hot springs, etc. Clear? That is why it is also, now commonly it is called as brain eating amoeba. Clear? So commonly it is called as brain eating amoeba. So basically remember this thing, this Naegleria Fowleri, it is a heat loving or you can say thermophilic organism. So this is a heat loving or thermophilic organism. Clear everyone? So remember this thing, that means this amoeba thrives in heat and it likes warm fresh water. Clear? Now it grows best at high temperatures. Now how much should be the high temperature? Around 46 degrees Celsius. Clear? And it can survive for short periods at even higher temperature. Getting my point? So that is why because of this a teen in Kerala died because of brain infection. Now another question here is, how does it infect it? So now how does it infect people? So first important thing, like if you do swimming in warm fresh water, then it will go through, it will enter through your nose and then it will affect your central nervous system. Getting my point? So it infect people, when water containing amoeba enters the body through nose. Getting my point? And it will only be there in fresh water. Clear? So this typically happen when people go swimming, diving or when they put their head under fresh water. और अगर उस fresh water में वो amoeba है and if it is able to enter through your nose, then it will affect your nervous system. Getting my point? Like in lakes and rivers. So this amoeba then travels up the nose to the brain and then when it enters in brain, it destroys brain tissues. Clear? And it causes devastating infection. तो जब वो ब्रेन के टिश्यूज को डिस्ट्रॉय करता है तब एक इंफेक्शन होता है. दैट इंफेक्शन इज कॉल्ड एज PAM. दैट मींस प्राइमरी amoebic meningoencephalitis. Clear? Now this infection is a very serious infection of central nervous system, and that it always fatal in nature. Getting my point? So the fatality rate is higher than 97% even with treatment also. Getting my point? So that is why this infection actually destroys central nervous system of a person. Getting my point? So when we say this PAM, clear, that means this primary amoebic meningoencephalitis, this infection is a rare brain infection. Remember this thing. This is a rare brain infection. Now, why rare brain infection? Because this is caused by amoeba. Clear? And which amoeba? Naegleria fowleri. Clear? So, Naegleria fowleri, it is a brain eating amoeba. And now it is observed that most of the people with this infection PAM die within 18 days, 1 to 18 days. Getting my point? So those who are infected with this infection, they die within 1 to 18 days. 1 to 18 days. Now, अब इसमें होता क्या है? It usually leads to coma and death after 5 days. Remember this thing. This infection usually leads to coma and then death after 5 days. Getting my point? That is why this infection is very harmful. Now this amoeba enters through nose. Usually when people, they go for swimming in warm fresh water like lakes, rivers and all. Clear? Then it travels up to the brain and then it destroys central nervous system. So as we have said that this PAM is a rare brain infection and it happened because of this amoeba. Getting my point? So it actually enters in the body through nose only. Getting my point? अब सवाल ये उठता है that fresh water तो हम पीते भी हैं. Clear? Whether it is possible that from drinking also people can get infection? So no. It should enter from nose only. Getting my point? So let me tell you. Now causes of death, as you can see here, it destroyed, this infection destroys brain tissue and causing brain swelling and then death. Clear? Now this Naegleria fowleri infections may also happen when people contaminated tap water. Now when people use contaminated tap water, not for drinking, to clean their noses. Getting my point? Now to clean their noses during religious practices or rinse their sinuses. Getting my point? That is sending water up the nose. Now it is also said that there is no evidence that Naegleria fowleri can spread through water vapor or aerosol droplets. इसका कोई भी एविडेंस नहीं है कि इसका इंफेक्शन वाटर वेपर और ड्रॉपलेट्स के थ्रू होता हो. Getting my point? And people cannot be infected with Naegleria fowleri by drinking contaminated water, because the only thing is it should enter from nose. Getting my point? So remember this thing, this PAM infection, PAM is non-communicable infection. Getting my point? As you can see here, this Naegleria fowleri infection does not spread from person to person. That is non-communicable infection. Non-communicable. Clear? And nor does it manifest symptoms when contracted in other forms. Getting my point? Now what are the symptoms of this infection? Now there are various symptoms of this infection like headache, fever, nausea, vomiting, all these things. Getting my point? So you should know first symptoms. So common symptoms like headache, fever, nausea, vomiting, etc. Getting my point? Like you will experience confusion, clear, seizures, clear. So, and then gradually people slip into the state of coma. Getting my point? Because it is destroying your central nervous system. Now, is there any treatment? So, let me tell you, if person are able to survive, then they have to go on some important drugs like treatment. As per US based Center for Disease Control, they recommended the combination of several drugs like, as you can see here, amphotericin B, then azithromycin, then fluconazole, rifampin, then meltefosine, and then dexamethasone. So, if people are able to survive, then they can go for these combination of drugs. Getting my point? According to US based Center for Disease Control. So, these drugs have been used to treat patients who survived. Getting my point? And that is a rare case. Clear? So, this is all about this amoeba and with respect to the infection called as PAM. Clear? I hope this much is clear to all of you. Now, this topic is important for your prelims examination also in terms of science and technology. Getting my point? So, thank you so much.